Islam, Shalom, Hotep, Assalamu Alaikum, Osio, Ola, Aloha. This is your brother, Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live and in full effect. Thank you for rocking with me. If you would like to donate to my channel, you can find the details down below. Like, share, subscribe, interact with the content. Thank you. More food for thought. Alright, once again, I just wanted to reiterate a video that I made a little while ago talking about trust. How to own nothing but control everything. It seems that unless I missed a few people, or some people just didn't do their due diligence and studying it. But I'm just going to bring it up again so you guys can go check it out and get this wealth of knowledge, this information to empower yourselves and your family. Just to break down a few little things, I don't want to give you all the keys. If anything, I'm just trying to show you the door, but I can give you the mode for the key, a little something like that. If you want to chop it up with me one-on-one, participate in the Moorish study group and chess club. If you're in the DMV area, the Northern Virginia area, that's the DC, Maryland, Virginia territory, just reach out to me. All right, so this thing about trust and controlling everything but owning nothing. Okay, a trust is a legal entity. A legal entity is like a corporation, a business or something like that. It pretty much exists on paper. It can own bank accounts. It can own a plethora of things. Real estate, bank accounts, bonds, personal property, stuff like that. I'm enjoying this beautiful weather out here, so forgive me, it's a little hot. I love the heat. Feel great out here. So pretty much it's a legal entity. So a trust is somewhat like a business. You can control and operate your property. Pretty much property either you or your family owns. The way that you fund a trust, instead of just organizing it and setting it up on paper through a trust certificate and declaration, you have to fund it. So what does that mean by funding a trust? That means putting assets into it, pouring assets into your trust, adding things like if you have a bank account, a savings account, checking account, adding that to it. If it's in your name, adding it to the trust, putting it in the name of the trust. Or automobiles, real estate, property, bonds, stocks. You can put all of these things, anything that a person can own, pretty much you, anything that you own. Your car is in your name, your house is in your name, transfer that into a trust, fund your trust. That's what you need to do. Anything you have shouldn't even be in your name because it's not even your name really. Once you get into that, you realize that that's not your name. All caps, it's not you. That's not the flesh and blood living soul. That's not you. That's another legal entity. But we're not going to get too much into that today. I just really want to focus on the idea of trust and how to control everything but actually own nothing, which puts you in a different tax bracket as like pretty much you don't have anything, so you can get plenty of benefits by actually being somebody like an individual, a person, and not having any kind of income. So you can just put zeros on all kind of tax forms and things like that, and technically, it's legit. That's legitimate. That's the way it works. You don't own it. It's in the name of the trust. All you do is operate it as a trustee or something of that nature in that capacity. All right, so that's just the gist of it. That's just the basic information about operating and funding a trust. So I get a lot of questions, Brother Bay. How important is it to actually have a trust? Like what is it going to do for me besides that stuff I just brought up just then? Another thing, a trust, one of the benefits is it's technically like a citizen or a resident, or you could say is a resident of all 50 states, U.S. territories. So you could be in one territory and use your trust and register or file something in a completely different jurisdiction or state, because that trust is like doesn't have any borders like that, as far as like a individual does or something of that nature. So, that is one benefit. Also, like I said, the tax benefits. Um, when you have a trust, and you get into like things like the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code, and you're operating with your trust through the UCC in commerce, there's different tax or treaty benefits that you can add into that UCC filing, that UCC1 filing, that can actually give you different tax relief, tax havens, things of that nature. For people who might not believe it, just remember this. The President, Trump, had a whole big thing about how they wanted to see his tax returns and things of that nature, and how pretty much he said he went for years without even paying taxes, but he did it legally. Now, that's why, that they try to demonize people who talk about paying, who speak on not paying taxes, like you're defrauding the government or something of that nature. Man, that's way out the window. Us Moors, there's no way. We're automatically not taxed anyways. You look at the census, all so-called Native Americans or Indians were automatically not taxed upon the land. How can we be taxed for something that's ours, de jure? You get what I'm saying? Hopefully you understand that. So when it comes to dealing with a trust, you can get into using some of these treaty benefits, tax havens, things of that nature. That's not the only way. That's just one way that's actually connected to the trust. And when it involves the UCC1. Okay, so that was just a little tidbit, once again reiterating on a video that I made last year about how to own things in trust, how to put property in trust, how to own nothing but control everything. That's like the main thing. Own nothing, control everything. Rockefeller said it. That's the way that the elites do it. That's how the rich stay rich. The poor continue to get poor. Because having your property, the property that you believe is yours, better yet, having that in the public domain makes it vulnerable to different types of liens, and like illegal attacks and things like that. How people can come at you and levy your bank accounts, garnish your wages, try to take your assets, your real estate, your property. If they come at you with any kind of criminal action or something like that, like racketeering or something like that, they could try to come after your assets and take your physical property. But if they're in trust, they have to go through a whole different thing, due process. So it's taking it from the public, putting it to the private. That's a really big concept, the public and the private. When people start talking about sovereignty and people being sovereign and stuff like that, pretty much they're speaking on the private side, taking things out of the public, putting it to the private, and having your rights protected when they're in the private sector, because you cannot deprive somebody of their rights without due process of a law when they're on the private side. But if you're in the corporate public side, you're open and vulnerable to all kinds of legal actions and suits and things of that nature, where people could garnish your accounts and levy your wages and stuff like that, and come after your property. But like I said, having a trust and operating in trust, truly controlling your estate, in concordance with like UCC1 filing, hey, there it is. So once again, I just wanted to go over that, try to drive it home. Please look into trust and estate information. It's really, really easy to find. Come on, family. This is something very easy. This is legal stuff that's not even too advanced to even grasp the concept of it. Once you grasp that concept, it's really easy to start following suit and operating accordingly and protecting yourself legally, legally and financially and all that. So look into trust law, how to operate a trust, how to set up a trust. You can contact me if you're in the DMV area, Moorish Nationality Navigations. Please reach out to me if you're in the DC, Virginia area, the territories. Once again, this is your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor. I don't have a quote for you today. I'm just going to cut out into here. I thank you for rocking with me. Islam Tribe. Peace.